Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the Scrapfive challenge for the month of October, where we will have a list of 5 things that we have to use on our layout. And this month's list is use a sketch, use a technique of your choice, tearing, stitching, etc., pattern, paper background, and this is the one I might have failed on. Use a themed collection for another themed or no themed layout. Well, I didn't take the paper in there with me when I went to scrap, and so first I thought, well, I'll use cardstock and have no themed paper. Well, then I remembered it said use a pattern paper background. So I decided to use odds and ends that I had from the Amy Tan. So there's like 3 collections on there, making it non-themed because I originally planned on using princess paper. Huh. When I looked at the photo, because she has a t-shirt on that says #1 princess. So I thought, okay, I've got it. And then when I was editing and put this little piece in there just now, I read it and thought, oh my goodness, I might have got that wrong. Anyway, the last thing is a number in your main title. And I might have got that one wrong too. But anyway, it's also Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And this is the sketch for Christy's Beautiful Life. So I am combining the two. And yeah, I only have 1 photo instead of 2 though. So uh, mine's bigger though. It takes up the room of 2. And it's by Rachel Usher. It's super cute and colorful. So I'm using colorful paper. I'm going to scrap that photo of Hope that I already talked about. I'm going to use those dies for part of my title. And I hadn't made up my mind what I was going to do with the rest because I thought I might use different ones. And I will. But yeah, here's my odds and ends. And they're from Oh Happy Day, Rise and Shine, um, Yes Please, and maybe another one. But yeah, I was thinking, well, that way it wouldn't be themed because I've got odds and ends here. Well, that isn't exactly what it says now that I read it again. But yeah, I might have failed at that one. I am cutting my paper down a little bit just to save it. I know I've had it forever since like 2014 maybe. But yeah, I am cutting it out because I know I'll use it. And just maybe not on this layout. Well, I know not on this layout. And I instead of just putting my paper right behind the photo, since she does have 2 kind of angled, I thought, well, I'll angle my background papers instead and use my one larger photo. And here on the scoreboard, I am going to do like a lattice design using the scoreboard to make the lines so I can ink them and then they'll show up just a little bit better. And the paper, I think the color's called oatmeal, is about the closest thing I could think of that I had that might go as an ice cream cone. I'm taping them down with that tape, and you can just score right over the top of the tape. And I'm going every 1/4 inch. It does score at every 1/8 inch, but I'm going every quarter. Then I'm flipping the paper and doing it the other way, so I will have the lattice look when I get done. And I'm also, I angled it so it looked more like an ice cream cone rather than coming straight down. And I'm going to take my scissors instead of my corner rounder and just round the corners a tiny bit and then ink the edges with parchment by Close to My Heart. And as you can see, the lattice is showing up better on here than it would have if I'd done the close-up while I was doing the scoring. But yeah, I wanted it to have a similar look to some ice cream cones. And this was my solution. And here I cut this one way too big, although in my head I thought it was about right. And yeah, I'm having to cut it down and re-ink it to get it to fit and look like it's more the right size for the top of the cone. And I could have done the pointed cone, the waffle cone, but I wanted it to set flat looking on my little blotch that I'm going to add. And so I went with this cone instead. Oh, and I didn't mention that this is the technique I'm using. It wasn't on the list, but it said etc. So I think it said etc. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But it is, well, I guess it's freehand paper piecing because I'm not using any punches other than the Martha Stewart drippy goo. Yeah, I'm making an ice cream cone with chocolate on top because she does have, it looks like fudge on her ice cream there. And I thought about doing a bowl and sticking a spoon in it, but I decided I wanted the ice cream cone instead. So, well, basically, so I could use my new Martha Stewart punch. So, yeah, that's Drippy Goo, which it is not new by no means. It's been out for years. I just finally got one. And I am sure it would have looked better on a smaller cone, but I wanted my cone bigger. I did take my white pen and highlight it, but that's in place of the hexagon that is, well, yeah, it is a hexagon. I had to make sure. I had to count and make sure it wasn't an octagon. But yeah, in place of the hexagon that is on the sketch. Instead of using actual mixed media on the layout, I'm going to use these rub-ons. And they're by American Crafts and they're called Creative something, but they've been out for a long time, probably a few years anyway. And I'm going to tuck one right underneath the ice cream cone, kind of like a shadow of it sitting there, or maybe ice cream that's melted. And since that dark pink one is so close to the same color of her shirt, I wanted to make sure I used it on the layout. And then I thought, I'd really like that heart on there. And I considered putting it on the top of the ice cream cone because she does have a cherry in her bowl. And I thought about making a cherry, but I forgot all about it. But I did have the thought entered to put the heart up there at one time. And I decided to try it on the rub on anyway. I thought, well, maybe I could cover it up or scrape it off. And it worked perfectly. So I decided to go for another one. And this one's just little dots. I could probably used a pen or something, but I rubbed it on instead. And they weren't too bad at rubbing on. Let's see, so far I have got the sketch. I have got the technique. I made the ice cream. I have the pattern paper background. And my maybe fail of using, because it says use themed collection for another themed or no themed layout. Well, yeah, I just thought, you know, no themed by using odds and ends. Because, yeah, I originally planned on using princess paper, but Hope is at uh, Dairy Queen, I believe it is. They like to take the kids, since there's so many of the kids, they like to take one here and there so they have time to have one-on-one time with mommy or daddy. So they'll ask which one, and they get so excited when they get to go do that. She got to go one day with my son, and he was working on my daughter's rental house. And uh, it was work all day kind of thing, but she was so excited to go. And I do have photos, and she did work. But yeah, it don't take much to excite them when they get to go by themselves with mommy or daddy. But this day was a special treat, and she got ice cream. The original, the sketch has flowers on it, so I am adding flowers to my layout. And I fussy cut them out of that one paper, kind of thinking it was Oh Happy Day that I cut it out of. And I'm layering them and putting foam tape behind them. And I think I'm getting close to getting done. I still have to do the rest of my title, but I'm still trying to make up my mind. Well, I guess I was being lazy. I was going to have to look for a large ampersand because I wanted a large one. And I was going to have to go through my dies to find it. Well, when I do, I decide instead of using, well, the alphas up there, that I was going to use something else. Oh, and the sweet came from a die that was Spellbinders, and then the girl is close to my heart and think they're just called block letters. But while I'm finishing up my letters, I want to mention that down there below, you will find the master link for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And you will also find the links for everybody that's doing the Scrapfive challenge and using the same list that I use to create their layout. So lots of inspiration down there. I'm cutting apart one of the chevrons to make confetti, funfetti. Is it funfetti? Is whatever it is on top. Sprinkles, that's what they are. I am thinking of the cake, I think. Can you tell I'm not a fan of sprinkles on my ice cream? But the grandkids like them. So I made sure I put some on there. I'm showing the dies I decided to use finally. And one is the one that's cursive looking is from Scrapbook.com. The large ampersand is a diamond press one. And then the hashtag #1 is also a diamond press one. If you need to know the names of them, I can look them up while I can look at the package. But chances are you can't get them. They do not keep their, well, the scrapbook.com one you can get, but the diamond press one they do not keep for very long at a time. They make new sets. It used to be called one and done, but on HSN that's what they called it. But now they keep them just a little bit longer, and other times they may have it at their website after it goes on HSN. But I put the branding strip down there at the bottom because if you notice, the princess has descenders on the S. And I thought, well, if I put the strip on there, they'll show up better, and then I'll have something to make my princess straighter. So, yeah, I put that strip across there, even though the sketch does not have that part. But see how good I did at guessing my flowers? I had it in my head, the clusters I was going to make. I didn't make too many. I was so proud. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm done. Oh, I decided to go ahead and add some chevrons to the branding strip because, since I had them left over, I thought I'd go ahead and add them. Pulling was that aqua color. And I thought, I don't want them all the same. I want a variety. So you will see them laying all over the table because I left them out. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Oh, and I got my #1 in my title. I didn't mention that. So my title is Sweet Girl and #1 Princess because that's what her shirt says. So yeah, I got a number in my title, and that concluded everything. If they're going to be a little bit lenient on that one. Like I said, some people might consider the title having a subtitle, but really it's not. That's why I used the ampersand so that it was all one title. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. I know there is plenty out there that you could be watching, and I appreciate you watching mine. But make sure you check out all the links down there below. Try the sketch, post it in the Facebook group or on Instagram, or even make a video. And try the recipe. And try them both together. That's a lot of fun. But have a happy scrappy week. Bye.